Welcome to the Fundraising Leadership Mini Podcast, where we share tips to empower leaders in the nonprofit world. I'm Janice Cunning, and I'm here with Michelle Malloy-Dillon. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Janice. It's great to see you again. So we've got another great tip for leadership here. And one of the most, I would say, I want to rephrase that, the most important skill a leader can have is the skill of listening. It's such an important skill because it builds trust with a team. It empowers others if they feel heard and listened to. And so often it's a skill that we don't traditionally think of as being the most important skill for leaders. There's
And
this
human
sense
beings,
that leaders
I would
need to get
even
out
say.
in front of things and tell people what to do, right?
Yes, yeah. And human beings, it's the most important skill for human beings. So, yeah. So let's do something fun. Let's do a demo. And then we're going to do a demo of 3 different ways of listening. And then Michelle, maybe afterwards you can kind of unpack for the listeners what each of these stages was. So we're just going to jump in without explaining it first, because I think that way it'll be more fun.
Sounds good.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to tell me, you went away recently, right?
Yeah, I went on a ski trip with some girlfriends. It was really fun. Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Yeah. We went up to Copper Mountain in Colorado, a couple hours away from where I live. And it was great. We got this wonderful
So
condo.
you were with your girlfriends, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. I love going on trips with my girlfriends. Did you drink wine and sit around in your pajamas?
Yeah, we did. There was a fireplace. It was really cozy. We just kind of hung out in the evenings, and by day,
I find I like, I don't really like sitting around the fireplace. I feel like I always smell like smoke afterwards when I sit around a fireplace,
Yeah, no, I love that. That's one of my favorites. It's very cozy. Yeah. There's lots of snow outside.
Yeah. You like to go in the snow. Yeah. I like snow. Okay, let's cut that one.
That was
the first one. Okay. Michelle, you went away recently with your girlfriends.
Yeah, we went up to Copper Mountain, and I was with 3 of my closest girlfriends, and we all hadn't been together for so long with COVID. It was really great just to be with the girls and to go skiing, and we all ski at different levels, but we kind of do our own thing during the day, and then we meet up in the evening and make dinner together and just gather around the fireplace, and it was just great catching up. It was really wonderful. Yeah.
What does being with your girlfriends give you?
Yeah, camaraderie, we all have kids about the same age. And so just being in the same stage of life together, it's just really wonderful to compare notes and learn from each other and get inspired by each other, and talk about what our hopes and dreams are for the future too, because we're all in the same kind of stage of life. Our kids are young adults and moving off on their own, and what does that mean for us?
And what did you learn about your hopes and dreams on that trip?
Yeah, I learned that it's just sort of a coming back to myself time of life. My kids are out of the house for the most part, and it's kind of this revisiting of who am I? Who do I want to be? And some extra free time that I've got on my hands, and what do I want to do? And one of those things is go away with my girlfriends on the ski trip. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I haven't been able to do that in a long time.
We're going to cut that one. That was okay. So that's version 2. And we're going to do one more, version 3. So Michelle, tell me about your trip you just took with your girlfriends.
Yeah, it was fun. It was, we had set it aside, and it was sort of one of those things where, with all the changes and shifting with COVID this winter, we were so hoping it would happen. And it did. We were able to make it happen. And we came from all different parts of Colorado and showed up in this condo at Copper Mountain. And it was our first ski in, ski out condo that any of us had ever experienced, which was so fun to just be able to ski straight out the door.
Wow.
Just hit the slopes.
I can see I can see you because we're on video and you are so lit up.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, it felt just so luxurious to have that time together. Um, and just be out in nature and explore a new place. None of us had been to Copper Mountain in many, many years. So it felt like a sort of a new adventure that we could explore together, and a new place we were staying. And, we didn't know what was around. We could.
Yeah. Like a lot of your values, it feels like.
Yeah. Exploration. Yeah, it's definitely one of my values. Something new, exploring something new, for sure. And there was something around connection, deep connection with people I really care about.
Yeah. I know that community, building community, being part of a community, and nature, these are things that I know about you to really be important to feeding your soul. So I'm glad you got that.
Yeah. It makes me want to go again. Talking about this.
Okay, so that's one. So why don't you unpack for us, Michelle, what was happening?
Yeah, so you may notice there's 3 different ways of listening that Janice showed and here in this example. And the first level was listening where she also had an opinion about things. So you might have noticed that Janice interrupted me a lot, talked about her experiences, how she felt about fireplaces and being in front of a fire, what she liked to do and what her inner thoughts were that were going through her brain as she was listening to my story. And you may have noticed that, from my perspective, it was a little bit jarring. I'd be on a roll, and then suddenly Janice's interpretation would be right there, interrupting me a little bit. So it's a level of listening that we all do all the time. We always have opinions about things. We always have inner thoughts as we're listening to other people. But being aware of when to express those inner thoughts and when not to is actually pretty important for someone to feel like they're being heard. So that was the first
there are times like if you're at the doctor and they're giving you information about your own health, or let's say you're meeting with a contractor because you're going to redo your house. Like there are many times where being focused on yourself and your own thoughts about it are helpful. But most of us do that pretty well. So we generally find leaders need to practice the next 2 that you're going to explain.
Yeah. So the next level, the next listening style, level 2 that Janice had talked about, she exhibited in the example, was where she was really deeply listening to what I was saying. If you notice, she allowed me a lot of space to say and to express my story and what I was experiencing. She asked a few questions in there, which were just sort of eliciting even more information from me, but she wasn't expressing her opinion or her thoughts or what I should do or, any of that in that second form of listening. And in that form of listening, I really felt heard. I had a lot of space to say whatever I wanted to say. Yeah. And that's a really important listening style for leaders to use.
Yeah. And often, because we work with nonprofit leaders, many of them do frontline fundraising, and that's a skill they often use with donors in particular, And what's the third one's a little bit, I think, harder to understand or grasp, but how would you explain it?
Yeah, the third one, it's sort of allowing, as the listener, allowing some of your intuition in there. You notice Janice said, it sounds like there's some really important values of yours that you're able to live out in that ski weekend. There's something, in the way that your face is lighting up. It's really allowing your intuition as a listener to point out what you're seeing as important for that person in that conversation. And the impact on the person telling the story is that there is an aliveness that it brings out. It's not just talking.
Yeah.
It's, there's something important here I'm really expressing.
I mean, it's hopefully like our hope is that you're not attached to what you're sharing. In the first one, you're very about yourself and you're sort of sharing, like you said, your opinions. And the third one, when you feel called to, you're adding something just without attachment to give the person more information, to pause and notice, like, yeah, I am really lit up and smiling, or yeah, that is important to me. So so what we're going to invite you to do is we have a tip sheet, 3 powerful ways that leaders listen. And we kind of challenge you for the next week, like really spend as much time as you possibly can in level 2 and level 3, and just see what the impact is, especially on your team.
Yeah. Grow your listening muscles.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for letting me play with you, Michelle. We'll see you next time. This podcast is brought to you by Fundraising Leadership. We provide unique coaching and training programs that powerfully transform how you work in order to get results. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're enjoying the show, you can help us continue to bring thoughtful content with a monthly or annual contribution. This supports our production costs and keeps the show ad-free. Make a contribution today using the link in the show notes. Now, go put it into practice.